Welcome, everyone. My name is Clearwater Chad, and we are live with Brandy. Brandy has a new channel. She's an SPTV um, person, just like we are, and we just want to talk to her and help her out with her new channel. She's just starting it. And Brandy, if you want to, first I want to say welcome, and if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and your channel, that'd be great.
Um, of course, y'all know me about my usual name is Brandy Mulvaney in chat, so that's how you usually know me. But I'm starting a channel called Christ Anxiety, and it is going to be revolving around Christianity and like how anxiety kind of brings that to the table with that. Because I know with me personally, I've had a lot of anxiety going to church and how um, the pressure and anxiety and everything can go with it. Um, and then it's also going to be just a safe place for anybody Scientology, uh, church, Christians, I mean, any religion, organization, anybody that's come from any kind of background, just a safe place to come and talk, um, get their story heard if they would like, and also be able to, if need be, have a safe way out.
That's great. It's definitely much needed. You don't really get a lot of the um, like you said, there's a lot of Christians in the group, but there's no one like you to go to, especially that talks about that stuff. In my opinion,
Hmm.
so that's excellent. Um, if anyone has any questions, feel free. Um,
Yes, and then my channel, I will post that
oh
for
yeah,
you as
post it in
well.
the chat there. Oh, and then there is a question when you're after you're done with that. Um, I know you told me backstage, but um, there is a question from Juliana asking what your story is with SPTV. So that's a good question. And she'll answer that after she's done putting her link in there.
Okay, let's see.
And then after that, there's no other questions started.
What's your story? Oh, with SPTV. Okay. I actually got the Aftermath show. I'm sure everybody's familiar with that. I watched that with Leah Remini and Mike Render, and that of course touched my heart and my soul. I can't tell you how many times I've watched it and went with it just because um, it was just it was so heart touching. And then I came across all the YouTubes and come across Mike Render and Leah and AA Ron, and then I started coming across Clearwater Chad and Marilyn and all the other guys, right? And so then I thought, you know what? On the same framework as SPTV with the Scientology and everything, I wanted to give the Christianity side of everything. And so I thought, that's really awesome with what they're doing with that. I was like, I just kind of want to leap just a little bit from the framework of that and give that side of it.
That's great. And looks like there's another. Yep, There we go. Does the anxiety come from religion or is it separate?
Uh, Terry, that's a multi-layered question.
Mm.
uh, it started out childhood. Anxiety did come from religion. Um, I seen somebody did mention Pentecostal. Um, I was Pentecostal, and so of course we did the speaking in tongues, laying of hands, uh, all the magic voodoo that everybody says. Um, we did that, and at the time, of course, tell y'all a little story here. Of course, not everybody has seen. Thank you. He's my he's my attached buddy. Um, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure everybody has not seen the speaking in tongues and the laying on hands. But in Pentecostal universe, we really believed that that was us personally talking to God with this um speaking in tongues. And then the laying on hands was really like the healing and the not just healing but like the presence of God. And so one day when my sister and my cousin, they were little, they were probably 8 or 9, and I was standing there with them, and all of a sudden, the creature's going around touching everybody on their heads, and it was quick. Just, I bless you, bless you, bless you, and then all these people falling out. And of course, all the women in their skirts, they would come around and put blankets over the women, so that way they would be polite and not showing everything. And so then my little cousin looks up at me and goes, "Are they all dying?" I'm like, "Oh no, honey, it's
Mm.
God. They're talking to him, And I mean, she was just pouring tears and just she really thought they were dying. And at the time, I thought it was funny, and I was laughing. And to this day, looking back on it, I'm thinking, how traumatic for a little kid, 8, 9 years old, and you're thinking these people are laying out dying on the floor. Everybody's speaking in tongues, hollering, dancing, and then all the people out in the front are just laying out. I mean, that's just, and me at 12 years old, I'm thinking that's just how it is. That's church. That's what it is.
Wow.
And so that's all I know. That is my language. That's all I know to say to my little cousin and my sister is that that is what it is.
Wow.
Right. Religion shouldn't scare you.
Yeah. So it's this one. Hi, Brandy. I admire your courage. This from Maryland, ex Pentecostal here. What denomination or were
Yeah,
you in?
denomination.
Okay.
I was Pentecostal. I actually went from being Pentecostal when I was really little, from about 12, up to that was Church of God, and then that Church of God went to um, non-denominational at the end, and then once I hit about teenage years, that non-denominational, I finally it clicked, and I started questioning and really started thinking, this ain't right, and started really thinking on, the nuances in the Bible and how things don't add up. And so I eventually altogether quit going to church. And now I am a deist. I believe that there is something. I just don't know what.
That's cool. From John B. If someone's having a conflict from religion, simple fix, leave it and go seek what God is on your own. Yeah, true.
Mm. There's a lot of people that do that. That's like the kind of like Buddhism, things like that. That meditate, things like that. They believe in kind of honing that to kind of think on your own and really meditate and find what you think.
Yep, true, true. Peace and love. Question, Brandy. Did you say in a previous chat that you were born Pentecostal? Hey, everyone. I think you just answered in the last one, right?
Yes,
Uh,
crafters, kind of. I do a little bit here and there.
yep. Colonel's asking her. She's crafty.
I do some sewing. A lot of this is from work at home, so a lot of this is snacks and stuff from when I'm working, and so I have a lot of snacks. Um,
Are you a part of? Sorry to cut you off. Are you a part of our? If not, you should join Maryland's Facebook group, Coffee Crafts and Cults. I probably
I
messed with the
should.
name.
Yes, I should.
Yeah, yeah. Send her. I don't know how that works, but just Coffee Crafts and Cults Facebook. I'm on it, and all the good people are on it.
Yeah, I should because I sewed just a tiny bit. Actually, my grandmother-in-law, she taught me how to sew because I really wanted to sew. And my first thing I picked out, she didn't even tell me to the end, y'all. Get this, not till the very end till I finished it. I picked out a dress. She helped with the pattern, show me, this the way this goes, and she told me, okay, pin it. She showed me how to do the first pin. I pinned it all. I cut it out, and then she showed me how to use the sewing machine, and I started sewing. Once I got it all together and finished, y'all, I did a pleated sleeveless dress. She said, "You just made one of the hardest pattern dresses you could ever do on your first go around."
Wow,
What? I was like, "Now you tell me?"
that
That's crazy.
is crazy.
Yeah.
That's cool though. But yeah, no, look that up later if you feel like it, and because all the
Yeah.
great people, like I said, Marilyn is the I don't know how you say like the person that came up with the idea. It's her page, and then Juliana's in it. Juliana and I am. I think Denver too.
I definitely will.
Yeah. Okay, B Man. He says, I was a Pentecostal. My first marriage was in that church. Laying on hands cured my mom's lung cancer. That's cool.
Hmm. That's cool. My grandmother had lung cancer.
Wow.
She's been cancer free from that for over 10 years. And then she went from that to a brain tumor. And from that, she's now 3 or 5 years cancer free from that.
Wow. That's great.
Hmm.
Anytime you could beat cancer, that's a miracle right there.
Right.
Because that's a that's the worst. Let's see. There's a lot of other comments here. Denver Stevo. Jesus anxiety. Hi Brandy. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Yeah, Denver's a good friend. He's got a channel we're growing too, just like mine's still growing.
Yes, and I love his little avatar and logo.
Yeah, yeah. It's still in the back of my head since he did that private eye video. Still singing that song because him. I
Yeah.
don't know if you've seen that one. Yeah, that was a really good video. He chopped, where he did the pictures of all the private eyes watching Aaron and Mike Rinder.
That's awesome. Peace and love.
Yeah, Peace and Love says was born in Pentecostal and now a deist. Okay, and I had no idea what a deist was, but I do qualify for that. I just same thing. I was talking to Brandy. I'm hoping there's something after we, I don't know what, but
And I let's see. Hey, all, it's good to see our hero, the man, the myth, the one, Clearwater Chad. Yeah,
thanks, Joel. I didn't even read that beforehand. Like she said, yeah, all right, thank you very much, Joel. Joel's always in the comments. I appreciate it, or we do too.
I see one here from B Man that I actually got.
Okay, I'll see if I could find it.
It's right above Denver Stevo's welcome aboard.
I'll go back up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
B-Man says religion should judge.
I think he meant to say shouldn't judge
Should
you
Yeah,
either.
you're right. Religion shouldn't judge you either. Yep.
And my thing on that is that our church actually had this thing of they didn't judge anybody. You come as you are, how you are, wear what you want, kind of thing, right? And we could wear jeans, we could, I mean, everything. This is especially when we were non-denominational. And I'm like, cool, no problem. And at one point, we actually had a youth minister that she had tattoos from head to toe. She was covered, but she was actually pretty cool. I mean, she was one of the best youth ministers I've ever seen. Got along with her really great, but she was only there a couple months. I don't know what happened. I don't know like why she left or nothing. But she was only there for like 2 months and left. And when I tried to inquire about it and see like why did she leave because she was one good thing that actually happened, it's like nobody said anything. And I truly believe it's the fact that it was all her tattoos and that she was showing them. And it's to me it was very hypocritical of the pastor to even sit there and say in Sunday morning congregation to be like, we welcome all.
Mm.
And then yet you want to sit there and go behind people's back and be like, oh no, but you can't do this, this, and this.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is crazy.
How did you deal with the aspect of the second coming could come anytime? Understanding how to deal with that as a child, not really setting yourself up for a future that might not be. Madison, that is a question. So the rapture. That's one thing that when I first heard about it, to let that sink in, oh, I cried. I cried for days. I mean, it was because you're thinking, you don't want to die. You don't want to, or you don't want your relatives to die. You don't want family members and friends, and you don't want certain people to go to heaven and you not. And the way that it was preached to us was like, say, I was going to heaven and Chad wasn't, right? What would happen is with the rapture, we would float up to heaven, but I would float up to heaven and I would see Chad still be on earth and being in a fiery pit, and we would see it. And it's like, why? Why would you do that? I mean, it was so fear mongering. And so at first it was very horrifying and scary. And then finally, like over the years, like once they, indoctrinate you and get that in the mindset, then it wasn't as bad. Then it's more of trying to spread the word. And so actually at youth camp, which at the time I loved. I mean, youth camp, it was pretty fun. And I had my fair share of sins through camp. Um, but we had different things we had to do every day to earn points and try to outdo other teams. And one day my dorm decided to act like it was the rapture, that the rapture had come. And so we literally like left pajamas in our bed, like we had just been taken up and um, lifted up. The sink was left on, toothbrushes left by the sink, and just I mean, like you were there doing something, and then boom, you're gone. So it was very crazy.
Wow, that is crazy. This one says from B Man. My mom said I was going to be a great mom. Too bad Christ was coming back and I wouldn't get to be one. I have 3 adult children. She's passed away. Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that's awful.
Let's see
I'm
what's
so
the
sorry, B man.
Yeah, same here. Let's see. Yeah, let us know if you have any other questions, guys.
And I saw earlier somebody mentioned my dog. My dog's always with me. This little thing is a Maltese. This is DC, and he has
Nice.
separation anxiety and PTSD, so he's usually always with me. Right.
Nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that. My dad was a master tailor for Saks Fifth Ave. He passed away in 2016. Sorry to hear that.
Purple Groovy 69. That's actually the campaign that I was just working for. I got laid off of. Was Saks Fifth Avenue.
Oh. So don't forget, everyone can subscribe to Brandy at
Yes,
the link.
please.
Yeah, we all help each other here. We're all at least trying to do good things. So we all help each other. Don't forget to subscribe to not only Brandy but Denver Stevo, poet. Um, Doug, thanks for being with us, Doug. We got Doug. We got the legendary Doug Scott Kramer in here. We got Nasty Nathaniel. Um, all great
Nice.
people. Yeah. And Denver Stevo. Like I said, subs to Denver Stevo.
Oh, we got Marilyn in here.
Yep, Maryland. Yep.
We also got Willie.
Oh yeah, Miss Willie. Hey Willie.
I got
Yeah,
a
let me put one of
gnat,
his.
or not a gnat. Yeah, one of those little bitty
Oh
bugs.
no. Willie says never understood a just God. God would just want to be worshipped. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I agree.
Right? But
Yeah.
it even says in the Bible, don't worship false gods. And to me, it's like, how can you justify him being a god when you don't have the viable proof?
I
Because we
mean,
don't.
yeah, I agree. For me, like I said, I always forget what that name we just said was. Deist.
Theist.
That's pretty much what I didn't know what the word for it is, but I just try to, especially as I get older, try to be a good person and do good things in general terms, and then hopefully that's enough.
Right.
You know,
It's like I've always said, the day I will actually believe that the Christian God will be the true God is when they can show me the scrolls, the actual scrolls that they wrote on and testified on. Then maybe that would be proof. Maybe. But then you would have to actually prove that it was from that time. But you can't because even the temple that had some of those scrolls burned down. There's no way to prove anything. I mean, there's already been proof that the ark couldn't have been done. There's just there's no way. The one that they built, I believe, what is it, Arkansas?
yep.
That one, no. I mean, if
Well,
today, if it was to flood around that one that they built, it would not move. It would sink.
Wow. That's true.
Goldie's here.
That's great. Hey, Goldie, thanks for joining us. We got, well, everyone's great. We have Doug Scott Kramer, we got Nancy Nathaniel, we got Denver, Marilyn, Juliana, Daniel, Terry, everyone, Mac, Cassie, Goldie, Willie, Spring Ruler. Thanks, everyone, for being with us. We really appreciate it. Keep coming with the questions if anyone has any questions. But yeah, Grand Theft, he's always here. He or she. B-Man says, no, I didn't cure. Oh, it didn't cure lung cancer, sorry. She wound up having something in her lung that was probably unidentifiable.
Unidentifiable.
Yeah. But she said it did. Okay.
Ah.
So people do believe. I think it's a belief thing.
Yeah, well, it's just like the comment I just seen by Joel. Uh, Joel McQueen said, in life, there are very little real proof of anything that is why is called faith. Just my 2 cents. And that's true. I mean, people do rely on faith. Most religions are faith based. It's like, believe in this, believe with all your heart, this will happen. But to me, faith can only go so far.
Yep.
It's just like the trust game. If you trust that somebody's going to catch you when you fall, that's what you trust. But you can break that trust. And it's the same thing with faith. With faith, how can you have that
Yep.
and know that it's there when it's breakable, if that makes sense?
Yeah. Let's see. Joel. I've been a Christian all my life. When I was in my late teens, I figured out that the church is a business. I found my own relationship with God, and God is all about money. Wow, that's good.
Church is all about money. Oh, yeah, the church is
Yep.
definitely all about money.
Yep. And this one's another one from Joel. We as humans are imperfect beings. We screw up. It is the way we are, and we must be careful about judging others. We are all in this together. Try to be kind. That's good too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, and Doug
Dazed but
says
not
thank you for.
confused.
Yep, that's Doug Scott Kramer. He's a great guy.
Was Brandy born and raised in? When did she get out? Sorry if what's caused her to wake up, question, and leave. Okay, dazed but not confused. No problem. I was born in the Pentecostal church um, until about teenage years. Um, Probably around, I would say, freshman, sophomore year. I was really questioning the Bible and some of the things that are contradictory and controversial that kind don't really make sense. And that's when I definitely left the church. I stopped going to the church and I started to question my beliefs. And that's when I became a deist and just, I believe that there is something out there. I don't know if it's God, gods, or, an alien from another planet. I don't know, but something I believe has had to have made all of this.
Yep. Maggie Bay, happy I caught like Clearwater Chad live. Maybe I missed this, but were you born into the Pentecostal or brought into as an adult? And says I was dragged by an ex, and it was bad.
Yes, my family was involved. my mom's mom, my grandmother, and my mom was in it. Um, my dad was as a child. My both my aunts on my dad's side was in, but they were more Baptist. I've been to plenty of Baptist church, um, and the Southern Baptist too, where they don't believe in the music. I would get hit and pinched every time I fell asleep in church because you go from the Pentecostal where you sing, dance, it's very loud, very like upbeat, to going to a Baptist church where it's very monotone and just maybe the organ playing. And so I would really get in trouble when I went to the Baptist church because, yeah, I would completely fall asleep during the sermons.
Marilyn says, Brandy, so sorry you went through that. I totally get it. The fear of the rapture was terrifying for me as a child. I always felt afraid I'd be left behind, BC, and I wasn't good enough. Good
Because I
enough.
wasn't good enough. Right. And you always have those thoughts of, did I do this right? Or did I um, wash my sins away? Was it, did I do my prayers and get forgiven for my sins? Will I be let into heaven? Will Jesus forgive me for this? It's very mind torture on what's good and what isn't. And then knowing the rapture and then the pictures of what they put in your head about what's hell going to be like. It was awful. They always said it's going to be, fiery pits of hell. And depending on what preacher and who said it, I mean, it was anywhere between, constant fiery rage to, I mean, being literally tortured and whipped and, I mean, all sorts of things. They literally would put that in your mind, even as a child.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really, a question. What are your views on?
TIT thing? What?
Not sure what that means.
Yeah. Supreme Ruler, could you specify on that?
Might even be a typo. Mac, I had this experience with the second confession.
Confessional during my communion prep course, and the children were terrorized by the idea of having to confess something and figured out what to make up. Crazy. Yeah.
And if you didn't confess, they made up something for you. I do remember that growing up.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So it's pretty much just pencil whipping it.
Mm-hmm.
And the what's the guy's name that did that? The father. Because you were like 5 years. I was 5 years old at the time. I was like, I don't know what I did. And I'm sure so. I'm not going to tell you. What to do with guilt? Willie says, yep.
Oh yeah. It's very much on guilt. Thanks, Michelle. DC Michelle says hi.
Nice.
Your church heavy on prophecy and callings? Were you told what God's plan was for you? Um, not individual prophecy and callings. It was more of like the earth kind of thing, if that makes any sense. Um, we were to basically just try to get as many people as we could to become Christians, to be saved. That way they could go to heaven with us. Um, and it the plan, I mean, there wasn't really just a specific plan for each person either. It was just to be good, to follow God's path, um, to, of course, follow the Ten Commandments, do no wrong kind of thing. Um, Thankfully, on my Pentecostal church, it wasn't as harsh as some of them could be. Because I will tell y'all honestly, I didn't find out until literally like a week ago that there was some Pentecostal sects that they were quite harsh. And I when I found out, I was like, "What? They did what? That was I, I was Pentecostal." I was like, "No way. They, they couldn't have done that." And I was just like, I was so heartbroken. I was
Wow. So Maryland says that I can't pronounce it. Tightening or teething?
tithing.
Okay, it's giving at
Yes,
least 10% of your income plus offerings, which is every last extra penny.
adults were. See, I was a teenager, of course,
Yeah.
and so adults were obligated and voluntold that they had to give at least 10% of their income plus any extra that they got. Yes.
Um.
And especially if there was any kind of extra thing going on, like if we had youth group field trips or if they had um, a special summer camp or anything that needed to go on, vacation Bible school, they automatically come to the parishioners first and said, "We need your money."
Wow. That's a
Yeah.
lot of money. Yeah, we have Kelly Copter here too, guys. She has a
Oh,
great channel
awesome.
too. She does a lot of the editing and a lot of stuff she does. So Kelly Copter says sending love to you, Brandy. So glad to hear you're going to start a channel. Absolutely.
Thank you, Kelly. I hope it does well.
We'll have to find that link again too.
Brandy.
And then Connell Brock says,
Disconnection?
"Are you
No. Um, I will tell you one thing though that happened. It's not really a disconnection, but what really ticked me off because this it didn't usually happen, but it happened. I wasn't there that day, and my sister had went to the church. I think it was for just like an afternoon get together after school or something like that. I don't even remember, but I didn't go because we had a youth group that it was a big like game room and stuff to where they could go after school. They could go play in the game room, whatever, just for like a safe hangout for all the youth. And so I think my sister went there and it was like a Wednesday. And so she was going to go there, hang out for a little while, and then go to the Wednesday night service. Well, my sister had on makeup. As y'all can see, of course, I have on makeup. There ain't nothing bad about it. And she was like 15, I think. And my aunt, my dad's sister, walked up to her in that church and told her she had to leave because she had makeup on.
wow?
And my sister sat there and told her, no, I haven't had to before. I'm not now. And then, oh no, it became this big scene, like a scene in the middle of the church parking lot because she told my sister she had to leave church because she had makeup on. So my sister came home crying, yada yada. And I want to say I said something to my dad and was like, "You better say something to your sister before I do because it's ridiculous."
It is.
I mean, because that back then it was still, I don't know, late 90s. And it was the turn of the age. I mean, it was just like, no, come on. You can wear freaking makeup to church. And even back then, I mean, my mom was kind of strict on us about what we wore and what kind of makeup we wore, stuff like that, because I remember her always telling me, Brandy, you're not going out of this house looking like Tammy Faye. And that was she did. She told me that all the time. Because me, I like bright, vibrant colors. Always have. And I've heard that too, B man. I've heard
That's
that.
B-Man says makeup's a gateway drug. Wow, I never heard that, honestly.
I have. I've heard it. And so I could never wear like the bright reds and the bright pinks. It all had to be neutral tones, the browns, stuff like that.
Wow.
Mhm. Every church is a congregation of sinners, and if that isn't bad enough, they have sinners for pastors. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Y'all want to
Yeah.
know a story on my pastor? After I left. And mind you, my pastor is my aunt's husband's uncle, I think. I don't know. Somehow in there, it's a relation to my aunt. But we found out through one of their kids, I think my cousin Jacob walked into the pastor's office and found him looking at some kind of, let's say, adult novelty. So we can keep this moderation
Mhm.
here. And they were trying to keep that in house. They were trying to keep it to where, you know, none of their parishioners or anything would find out. And it's like, no.
Wow.
And I've been going to the church and that pastor probably 10 years. And to find out something like that, I was like, really? Really? I've been seeing you and you laid your hands on me. No.
And preaching to you, right?
Yes, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just no.
Yeah, that's crazy. Peace and Love says makeup leads to sleeveless and short skirts. Helicopter. Marilyn taught me so much about this. I've never heard of these groups before. Makes me happy to see more voices speaking out. Also, Clearwater and Brandy. It does take bravery.
Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah. Yeah, Kelly has a great channel. And, too. She does, like I said, she does a lot of the, I was going to say auditing. She does a lot of editing for SPTV.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because I can tell y'all right now, if family sees my channel, it's gonna be
Oh,
it's a lot of, except for my mom and my grandmother and my sister. They all still go to church.
wow. That's
It's,
crazy.
the thought of spending all eternity with some horrible Christians like my parents isn't the selling point they want it to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you won't
Grand,
be in heaven with us. Yeah, I want
Grand Theft
right.
says, yep.
If anything, honestly, if it if it was up to me, if anything, I would want it to be the way kind of that what's the group? Uh that the Mormons have it to where it's God, the spouse, the wife, and the kids in their own celestial kingdom. Because then it's just you and your family. The way Christians have it, it's everybody, right? So it's like the whole world of Christians and whoever, believes is up there. So then it's just like, that's a little unfair, you know?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want your own world to yourself?
Yep. Oh, another great one from Kelly Copter. All we can do is try our best. I'm always learning and more. Love you guys. Thanks for support.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
true,
like I
Kelly.
said, Kelly. Everyone should be sub to Kelly Copter, Brandy, Denver Stevo, um, and of course Doug Scott Kramer.
There's a question here by Colonel Brock.
Okay, we'll see if I can grab it.
There.
Oh, okay.
Brandy, is forgiveness part of being a deist? Do you believe people can change? Oh, yeah. The deist, all that means is that you believe that there's something out there. You don't know what it is or how it is, but you believe something made this world. You don't know what.
Okay, so the next one from Maryland. Brandy, I can relate to your story. Thank you for sharing and speaking the truth. Best of luck with your channel. If you ever want to talk Pentecostal, let me know. And that's Maryland with the Facebook group. I'm gonna butcher their name, probably Coffee, Cults and Crafts. She's a great lady.
Okay. Perfect. Thanks, Marilyn. That's awesome. Will do.
Oh, Ellie Mae's here from Canada. Hi, Ellie Mae.
From Canada, we got a
Yeah,
Canadian in the house.
yep, yeah. She's great. She's always in the chats. So is everyone else. Let's see. Max says, I've always been fascinated about everything and sexualized in the modest faith.
Yeah. I thankfully though, like ours didn't have, at least in the denominational part of it, didn't have like boys group, girls group, things like that. We just had church and youth group and Sunday school. That's all we had. I
Wow.
remember like going to the Baptist, though the Baptist did have all that.
Wow. Burke says, I lived across the street from a Pentecostal church. The music still haunts me with nightmares.
Hmm.
Wow. Borderline what? Sounds fascinating. Keep us beginning. He'll rewatch. You're so strong, which is true. You are very strong.
Thank you.
We need more people like you to speak out for sure. Burke came in late. Does her group have a creep circle of elders who are there to pretend to be classy?
Mine does not. My spouse's did. My spouse was it's escaping me. Methodist. And they do. And then her uncle actually just became an elder in the church. And I'm like, really? So you're an elder now? I was like, so you can take care of your mother properly?
Mhm.
Let me see. No. But because the whole point of being elder is that you're, especially in that church, is you're supposed to be there to help take care of the older ones, make sure they're provided for, make sure they can get to church on time, make sure their home is taken care of, things like that.
Wow.
His own mother, at least for at least a year, probably almost two. We live next door in an RV. Not now, of course. You can tell I'm in a house, but I took it upon myself to help Mimar.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
great. Terry says, I'm United Methodist and we don't have elders.
really, Terry,
Huh.
isn't it? Hold on.
Well, it must be there's different groups and different. I don't personally know.
Okay, so Church of Christ is a Christianity split. So it's Christianity, but it's Church of Christ.
Well,
Never thought being raised Pentecostal was so culty, but I get it now. Yeah, be man. And if you look into some more of the Pentecostals, it gets bad. Like, and y'all don't quote me on this, but I believe Jonestown was a sect of Pentecostal
wow.
be- because he went from trying to be really good and like help with and segregate people and have everything together and equality to really getting too far into it and too far in his head to where that's Jonestown got really bad.
Wow. It's crazy. Marilyn, was your church associated with any other Pentecostal denomination or churches, or were they on their own?
Maryland, when it started out, when I was young, I was Church of God, and that was actually East Texas. When I came back towards Wichita Falls, Texas, we were Church of God, and then I don't know what happened. Something with the pastor. I'm not sure what happened. I'm slow on the details. Um, but the Church of God, then we moved to non denominational, and then it became Jubilee Christian Center.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Terry says, "Are there Methodists and United Methodists? Not sure what the difference is."
It's different sects.
And she also says, "And the United Methodists are about to split."
Hmm. It's just like Pentecostals. They have the different sects, just like Baptists. There's Baptist, Southern Baptist. I mean, there's, I think there's over like, was it? 200,000 religions just off Christianity. Just off Christianity alone. That's not going into, Buddhism, Hindu, Muslim. I mean, it's not going into other religions. Just Christianity alone. There's 200,000 different types of Christianity.
I never knew that, honestly.
Yep.
Wow.
That's why I thought it's so important to also have a place for the Christianity sect of it for people to come,
Wow.
because there is a lot. There's a lot of us out there, and a lot of them don't have a place to go and even just talk and be like, "Hey, this is what's up. This is how I'm feeling. This is, you know, I want to leave my church, but I don't know how. I don't know how to express it. I don't know how to leave. I don't know what to do." This can be the place.
Yeah, it sounds like you found some. Sounds like you said, we do have a lot of Christians, and there's no group on SPTV you know, to do what you're doing here. And Julie just put up your link because we're winding down. We almost go an hour. Julie just
Okay.
put up your link. Don't forget to. So we'll go another couple minutes, another 5 minutes maybe. Make it 1 hour exactly. So don't forget to subscribe to Brandy's channel, everyone. She's got some good content she can be putting out. Poet said he grew up in a Church of Christ. Very apocalyptical. It scared the out of him as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Everyone says, Brandy, yes, I think so too. Jim Jones was Jim Jones was Pentecostal. He became a self-appointed prophet, hearing directly from God. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Mhm. That's why he flew everybody to, I forgot where it was.
Yeah, I forgot. Oh, now I forgot too. Uganda or something maybe, or
Yes,
something like that. Yeah,
New Guinea.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And that's what he flew with them all there. And once he started getting really bad, then I believe right before everybody, sorry for the phrase, y'all, because this is really what happened. But once everybody was going to drink the Kool Aid, he gave them the option: you can leave or you can go. And there was some that left. There was some that left, but then the ones that stayed, they literally drank the Kool Aid and died.
Wow, it's so sad. 900
Hmm.
something people, I believe, wasn't it?
I don't.
That is
Was it
very
that
sad.
many? Yeah, I want to say it was 300 and something, but it
I'd
could be
have to,
900.
yeah, I'd have to go. I don't want to misquote either. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was quite a bit though.
yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah, yeah, I couldn't listen to it either. Juliana has a comment here about this podcast. I couldn't listen to it either. It's when they had the real they had the real tapes of like the people dying and stuff. That was too much.
Hmm. Well, it's just like with the movie for Scientology, eat like sweet. Oh, I'm not even thinking of it right.
Wow.
Sweet pray love. Y'all help me out here. I know it's something like that. Obey.
I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, it's
Oh yeah,
on Netflix.
Julie says obey, obey. And then Denver, we can go back to it too. But Denver, Steve
Yeah,
says,
keep sweet, pray, and obey.
"Oh
That's right,
wow, oh
Julie.
yeah, yeah, that's what. Yeah, she said it
Yeah,
too. Keep
it,
wow,
that to the very end of that recording, that was hard.
yeah. Like I said, I couldn't listen to it. And Denver Simo came up with the stats. Uganda, if I'm pronouncing that right, South America, the People's Temple, 918 people died.
Yep. Thank you, Denver Zero.
Yeah. Don't forget Denver Stevo, sub to Denver Stevo, and that's who you send the pics to if you want to send a 15 to 20-second note to Mr. Mike Rinder. Yep, there you go. Someone, probably Julie, put the nice, it's Denver's email address. Send the emails to him and sub to his channel while you're doing it, if you want. I recommend it. Hi, Renee. Oh, and this one's good. Tawny. I didn't know this. 100 years before Jonestown, something similar happened. Didn't know that.
In the same place? Oh, I didn't know that
Or,
either.
I mean, yeah, or even a similar place. That'd be crazy. I never knew that. I know we've had stuff since, but not on that scale. Like
Right?
the Heaven's Gate, 39 people, I believe, or 30 something. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
39, yeah. I'm sure there was other ones, unfortunately. All the similar playbooks, there's one God, and everyone does the same stuff. Well, like I said, everyone, we're gonna try to wrap up this next minute or two, but don't forget to sub the Brandy station. And if you guys like this stream, we'll do more of them. Help get her going. And
Yeah, and if y'all have any content ideas or anything, you can definitely email them to me.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, because it takes. I'm still finding my way. I've been doing this about 5, 6 months. You try something. If people don't love it, just try something else. But doing
Right?
streams like this, people seem to like. Um, and just try a new thing, and you have to try work with different people and see. Just try different things. That's what I'm doing. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
sticks, sticks, and you'll know. No, everyone's so nice. They're not going to say they don't like it, but they'll, they won't say they love it. Maybe. Thanks, Ellie Mae.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, definitely anybody in here that wants to come on and talk about their experiences is more than I'll be more than happy to do that.
it's funny because I could, I didn't, I wasn't involved with all that stuff, but I was a Christian growing up, so at least I could relate to your content even more than the Scientology stuff, which is totally foreign to me.
All right.
Um, so yeah, everyone, don't forget one last time, and we'll call it a night because I still have one more stream to do with Poland to go at 8 o'clock. But don't forget, everyone, join Coffee Crafts and Calls with Maryland's group Facebook group. Sub to Brandy, sub to Denver Stevo, and don't forget, even Kelly Copter, the same thing. Sub to her and Doug Scott Kramer. And thank you, everyone behind the scenes, Juliana and Marilyn. That helps me out. I appreciate it. And it's 8 o'clock Clearwater time is the time going on with the Poe. And yep, we'll finish off by saying one last time, sub to Brandy. I really appreciate you coming on tonight, Brandy.
Yes, thank you for having me, Chad.
You're welcome. Night, everyone.
Bye,
We'll stay on for a
everybody.
second. We'll stay on in the back of there first. If
Okay.
you have a sec. Okay.